Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. For you who may be returning after my first video, if you are, thank you very much, and if you're new to the channel, then welcome. This is just going to be a quick video, obviously going over the Brentford game that happened on the weekend. 1-0 to the Arsenal, 89th minute by the man Kai Havertz, believe it or not. And yeah, we're just going to go over it, give my thoughts on the performance, etc, and some talking points. But before that, I just want to give a quick comment on Brentford. Big respect for Brentford as a team. I really like them as a team and a club. Really like their manager Thomas Frank, and you know they had a game plan to sit back and frustrate us when we did go forward. They had sometimes 8-9 men in the box, making it really tough for us to score, and it nearly worked. And they tried to hit us on the counter, obviously, and Buemo and Wissa and their pace. And you know, let's have it right, they could have went 1-0 up, which we will discuss, but thankfully, we managed to break them down in the end. But big respect to Brentford. They are a really tough team. Going away to Brentford is no easy game. If I'm right, I think I'll have to double check this, but I'm pretty sure that's the first game they've lost at home since they lost to us, I believe. Last season, obviously. So, tough team. Obviously, they beat City last season, but City were on the beach by then. If City wanted to win, or had to win, shall I say, they probably would have. But really tough team, good team, massive respect, and yeah, fair play to Brentford. They nearly got it done. They nearly took something from the game, but thankfully we managed to find a way, and that brings me on to the first talking point, the goal. And the first proper goal, in my opinion, for Kai Havertz in an Arsenal shirt. Obviously, he has scored before against Bournemouth, but it was a charity penalty when we were, 3-0 up? No, 2-0 up at the time, and that was to put us 3-0 up. So this was his first real contribution in an Arsenal shirt in terms of scoring goals. And also, I think it's the first time we've seen the type of performance that was the reason that, in my opinion, Arteta brought him in the first place. I think Kai Havertz was brought in to make them runs into the box and attack the back stick when we're putting crosses in, and to also just cause some chaos for us in games where teams are sitting back and defending. I think Arteta knew that this season Arsenal were going to get a little bit more respect and teams were going to sit back and try and make it hard for us. You see the way teams double up on Saka and Martinelli, even, you know, they might have 3 players around them sometimes. They're not getting the space to do what they used to do last season, something they've got to figure out and find a way around it, which, to be fair, Saka is, because even though he's not playing his best at the moment, his goal contributions are still really good. And you saw Jesus, it wasn't working for him up top, and Nketiah wasn't working for him. So I think it's really important to have someone like Kai Havertz who can distract the defenders, and that will, in the future, if he continues to do so, I believe, create space for Jesus and Saka and etc. And it'll just make us a more unpredictable team. And that's why I think on Saturday was the first time we'd really seen that from him. You know, we were doing actually kind of alright, weirdly, on crosses. You saw in the first half, Zinchenko put one in for Trossard. He's just headed it over. Jesus probably should have scored in the first half from like a cross or more of a dinked sort of ball from Saka. And we were weirdly causing them problems, but we didn't manage to do anything with it. So he brought on Kai Havertz. We all know how tall he is. I think he's about 6'4". And he got himself in a position where other players were struggling, especially in the second half. You saw in the second half there was a couple of times Saka put a ball in and Martinelli put a ball into the back stick. And then, you know, whether it's Martinelli putting it in, Saka and Odegaard were standing still. And if Saka put it in, Trossard and Martinelli were standing still, no one attacking the back stick, and it was becoming frustrating. And then Kai Havertz comes on and he does what I think he can really do for Arsenal. It's the one attribute of his game, I believe, if he works on it and gets going, I believe that's where he can help us. That's the only way I ever understood the signing. Because I wasn't happy when he was coming in, I was fuming about it. But when I thought about it, he had the second most runs into the box last season, just behind Haaland. So in my mind, I thought that's why he's been brought in, to make them late runs and get on the end of crosses with his height. And finally, he done that. There was an instance against Newcastle, for example, where we played it down the left. I think it was between Martinelli, Rice and Zinchenko. Martinelli's got to the byline, put a nice ball to the back post, and then Kieran Trippier, who's probably about 5 foot fucking nothing, could just headed the ball out with completely unchallenged. And that drove me insane watching it live, because Havertz was playing in Odegaard's position, so sort of like the right 8 on that day. And the fact he was not steaming in to head that ball drove me absolutely insane. Because I just saw it as an opportunity, he should have scored. So, positive from Havertz. I think in general when he come on, his first touch, he spun away from goal defenders, got to the box, puts a cross in. It wasn't a great performance. I'm not saying he come in and he, absolutely changed the game and, he was amazing. But he was good. And it was the first time I've seen the impact I expected him to have. So, well done to Kai Havertz, and I hope it continues. I don't want him to be bad. Look, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of Kai Havertz. In fact, I'm not a fan of him. I don't particularly like him at the moment. But I pray and pray and pray and pray that he turns everything around and he becomes a top player for Arsenal. I want the best players at Arsenal. So I really hope this is the start of something for him. However, this game could have been very different, mainly because of a mistake from Aaron Ramsdale. Now, look, I feel really sorry for Ramsdale. I didn't agree with Raya coming in. I didn't think it was a signing we needed to make or should make. Interestingly, talking to my friends and my brother throughout the summer, my brother especially, was a big advocate for getting a new keeper in. And Raya was one of the people he mentioned. I didn't see it, and I still don't see it. I don't think Raya is better than Ramsdale. I'm not saying I think Ramsdale is necessarily better than Raya. I don't think there's much between them. Therefore, I didn't see the point of bringing him in, personally. Raya, and I think you can see what it's done to Aaron Ramsdale, because in that game, especially in the first half, he had 2 moments where you could just see that man's gone. Like, his confidence is just on the floor. Obviously, the big moment was when he messed up the kick out, and it should have cost us a goal. And Bremo has to score. People say, Rice done amazing to get back and block it. Of course he did, no doubt. But he shouldn't have had the chance. And Bremo should be burying that. We should be 1-0 down, and who knows how the game ends up going. So we had that moment, really poor from him. But you could see, for me, in that moment, you could see a man overthinking and doubting himself. Which is a shame, because he shouldn't have to for what he's done the past couple of seasons. And it's a shame with Ramsdale, he shouldn't have to doubt himself. What he's done the past couple of seasons at Arsenal is a credit to himself. He's come in, he's changed everyone's opinion of him. He's gone from a keeper who everyone questioned for why the hell are Arsenal buying him and laughing about it, to now looks like a snip at 30 mil, in my opinion. I think he's one of the best keepers in the league. And it's just a shame to see him go, because I do think that will probably be his last Premier League game for Arsenal. Unless he stays after January. If he's still here after January, obviously he'll get the reverse fixture. But other than that, how many games is he going to play in the Premier League? Unless there's a suspension or injury, of course. And I think that's a shame. I really do. I don't think Ray is better than Ramsdale. I'm not saying I think Ramsdale's necessarily better than him either. I'll probably do a video on that one day. But it's just a shame. It is. I can see him ending up at Chelsea or something and having a good time there. But other than his 2 little weird errors, one of them that really should have cost us and one that wasn't that dangerous in the end. But I thought we had a good game. I thought we recovered in the second half. I thought we played really well. And it's a shame that now that performance is going to be remembered for and exaggerated by them 2 mistakes. But other than that, he recovered really well second half. He saved what he needed to. His kicking was fine. He come and claimed a couple crosses. I thought he played really well. And, it's another clean sheet for Arsenal, which is something I really want us to get into a habit of doing. And it seems like Arteta feels the same, because we have become a lot more stingy. I think everyone can see that. I think we've got the most clean sheets in the league, and we've definitely conceded the least goals in the Premier League so far. And a big reason for that is obviously the signing of Declan Rice, but it's the 2 centre-backs as well. So when you've got that trio of Saliba, Gabriel and Declan Rice just basically protecting your team, you should be defensively quite sound. You've got Saliba and Gabriel, who arguably have the best partnership in the Premier League. Whether you think they're the best in individually is another thing. You might not agree that they're the best partnership, which is fair, but I just think they complement each other really well. You've got, the Rolls Royce in Saliba, just makes everything look easy, good on the ball, quick, strong, powerful. And then you've got the Colossus in Gabriel, who again is quick, strong and powerful. He'll fight you, he'll beat anyone in the air. They're both really good one-on-one. And, Gabriel's really underrated on the ball as well. I think people don't give him the credit he deserves on the ball. He's actually really, really good on the ball. and I just think they complement each other really, really, really well. I just wish Gabriel would get the same sort of plaudits as Saliba. Maybe not as much, because people think Saliba could be, or maybe is the best centre-back in the world, but it definitely could be, and I agree with that. I don't think Gabriel will ever be known as the best centre-back in the world, but I still think he's a top draw centre-back who gets into a lot of teams. So when you have those two, then you put an absolute ball-winning machine in Declan Rice in front of him. I mean, that geezer's just unbelievable. I was in the camp, and I'm ashamed to say, who wanted Caicedo over Rice. I didn't think Rice was as good as he is, I'll be honest. I didn't watch him too much at West Ham, and I think it's different when you watch a player for another team, and when it's not your team, you don't really appreciate what they do as much. That's why we're all kind of biased in a way. But my God, what a player Declan Rice is. For me, player of the season so far. And I just think he's, you know, when you sign someone for 105 million and you think that it was still a bargain, you know he must be some player. And I just love him. And that trio, I think, as long as we can keep them three fit and play majority of the games, you know, there might be your game you want to rotate, like we did against Sheffield United at home when Kivior come in. But if you keep them three fit for majority of the season, you might have a chance of doing something. As much as I don't think we will win the Premier League, but we'll have a much better chance if those three are playing. So just to end on my player ratings, I'm going to give Ramsdale a 5. I've seen some people give him like 3s and 4s, which I think is just ridiculous, because he didn't actually have a bad game. He just made one mistake that could have cost us, but thankfully it didn't. But I thought he recovered well and played well. Tomiyasu, I'll give him a 6. I think he was solid enough, didn't do anything special. Saliba, I'll give him a 7. I mean, Saliba's a 7 pretty much every game as a minimum. And I think this was one of the games he was maybe slightly off it. I think he had a couple of moments where he wasn't quite as sharp as usual, but overall he was fine. Gabriel, I thought was better than Saliba on the day. I'm going to give him an 8. Zinchenko, I thought was really good. I thought he was a candidate for man of the match personally. So I'll give him an 8 as well. But the man of the match for me was Declan Rice, who I'll give it a 9. I thought he was just incredible. Absolutely saved Ramsdale completely. Just an overall, just top player. Borderline world class for me. I think if we can just win something, then that cements him as world class. I really do. But I think his performances arguably are world class. But for me, for us to cement him, Saka and Saliba, who I think are the 3 closest to being world class in our squad, we need to win something. Odegaard and Trossard, I don't think are good games. I'll give them 5s. You know, they worked hard, but I don't think they created enough for them, for the type of players that they are. And I mean, look, Odegaard's just come back from injury, so I'll let him off. Trossard played that position for the first time since pre-season, so it's fine. But yeah, they weren't great. Our wingers, Saka and Martinelli, again, I don't think are good games, personally. I'll give Saka a 7 because he managed to find a way to produce that one moment of quality that won us the game. And so, yeah, I'll boost him up for that, which he has done quite a bit this season. Martinelli, probably a 5 as well. And Jesus, I thought, was the worst player on the pitch, to be honest. So I'll give him a 4. Again, I'm not going to be too harsh on him. He missed a big chance, and I think a lot of things were bouncing off him. He didn't look his sharp self. It's his first game back after injury, so I'm not going to be too harsh on him, but I didn't think he played great. And then I'm not going to rate the rest of the subs, but I'll give Havertz an 8 because obviously he come on and won us the game. And I thought overall, he's out of the subs, he come on and he looked the most determined to make a difference in that game, and thankfully he did. Thank you for watching, guys. I will be putting out the Lons preview probably on Tuesday. And yeah, just looking forward to the Lons game. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you are new, please do like, comment and subscribe. And if you have already subscribed, please do like and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think, if I've missed anything or anything you agree or disagree with. And yeah, look forward to hopefully growing the channel and talking to you guys more. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.